think then I thought it was like, this is such a bad thing because you're making people do that. But is it?
Yeah.
You know, it's just music. Like, that's how music works.
Right. And I would say, like, all art
Yeah.
is created to do that. A painting that gets you is created to make you question. So we take this idea of like emotions and questions and things that art drives us to do, and thoughts of things we don't understand. Like, that's the purpose of it. And that's David. That's the Psalms. That's always like, that's the point of the artist.
Mm-hmm.
And the situation sometimes is to give us an opportunity to. Now, can that be taken too far? And it's like, maybe it's like, but you have to look at the motive of each person and the institution that's doing it.
Yeah.
And scripture says a tree is known by its fruit. So you always step back and can look at it and like zoom out and say, like, what's the fruit of that in the lives of these people? And then judge it. And then as an adult, you can choose whether you participate in that or not.
Right.
Yeah.
As an adult now, I can step in, and why I do love, I think music moves me in a way that nothing else does. So, and written word can move me. And I'm at a point where it's like, I can choose to kind of put myself in those situations and be vulnerable enough to say, like, hey, I'm putting myself in a spot because I want to be moved.
Yeah.
Like, that's a choice now. And it's hard, I think, as as a kid in the situation. Like, we've probably all been in those spots where it's like, man, it's like, I feel like that's where manipulation, I think, becomes. And it does happen to adults too. But I think as an adult now, it's like, I can recognize and say, like, I believe God is creative. I think all creative works that are good to us because they make us question something or think about something differently.
Yeah.
In a world that everything is being rehashed. Somebody does something different that makes me look at it. I think that's a good thing.
I was going to say the same thing as you. I was just going to phrase it as, it depends on the culture of the organizations, but of like the church or whatever it is, because, you know, this may be just semantics, but you were like, it just makes people sad and it's trying to make them sad. Right. Well, if that is the purpose, then I think that's kind of messed up.
Emotional is probably the better word.
Right. And so even what does emotional mean? Like, if you are being vulnerable, but you're coming out of that moment feeling empowered and feeling uplifted and feeling like,
or honest. And like, you just felt the hurt that you had.
Right.
You
You
don't
like
have to feel
process it.
Like, you're like, whoa, it's like, that actually exists in me. I got to deal with this thing now, or I'm aware of it. And like, I've never even was able to acknowledge it, but like these chords and these lyrics or that message brought it out of me, then that's okay.
I thought I just had, it's the cool, I've never thought of it this way before, but like, obviously God created music.
Correct.
And wired us to feel that way. And like, how cool is it that it does invoke that response, and that those certain sequences of notes do that thing to a person naturally.
Right.
How cool is that?
Because there's only so many